Welcome to Inspiring You to Travel's Day 2, Sydney, Australia. Today, we're going to bring you back down to an area close to the Sydney Opera House and the Harbour Bridge called The Rocks. We're going to show you a free museum that we kind of stumbled into called the Rocks Discovery Museum, where we got to learn a little bit about the area. Then we're going to show you this wonderful restaurant that we found for lunch with beautiful views of Sydney Opera House and the Harbour Bridge. Then we go on a historical walking tour of the Rocks, where you'll learn a little bit about the history of Sydney and this particular area. Then we're going to bring you to one of the famous historical pubs where my son is going to try a pizza with kangaroo and emu meat. We got a late start to our morning, but we went back downtown and we went to this little free museum called the Rocks Discovery Museum. Neither one of us knew much about the history of Sydney, so we wanted to learn a little bit and explore the area. The Rocks Discovery Museum is free, and it's a great place to learn about the history of the city and the people who live there. The museum has a lot of artifacts and information about the early days of the European settlement in Australia, and it's definitely worth a visit if you're interested in history or archaeology. One of the coolest things was this old pinball machine from 1935. They found it in the basement of the Australian Hotel, which is where we go to and eat the pizza later in this video. Did you know that pinball machines were actually banned in the United States? It's true. During the 1940s, many cities in the States passed laws prohibiting the use of pinball machines on the grounds that they were a form of gambling and they were associated with the mafia. When we were leaving, we asked the lady in the front for a recommendation for a place nearby that we could have lunch. She recommended going across the street to the Contemporary Arts Museum, and on the 4th floor there's a cafe called MCA Cafe. It has a great selection of healthy food and absolutely spectacular views of the Harbour Bridge and the Sydney Opera House. I highly recommend this place. It is a little bit pricey, and it did cost us, I think, around $60 for lunch, but we did have an appetizer, a main course, and a dessert. Once we finished lunch, we headed down to our historical walking tour. We just happened to run into a friend that we hadn't seen in probably 7 years randomly, who was also on the same walking tour as us.
So disease-ridden, overcrowded conditions, they start putting all the convicts in big ships, hulks, warships, around the ports of England. They become the same because it's not really addressing the issue. So the government decide to put together the biggest migration project in the history of our time, because they sent 1,400 people to the other side of the world, to a continent that no one had seen since James Cook had come to Botany Bay in 1770.
Once we finished the walking tour, we actually went back to the Australian hotel that we learned about on the tour. Nathan wanted to try the coat of arms pizza, so here he is giving it a try. Nathan is going to try the coat of arms pizza, which has kangaroo and emu meat.
It looks pretty good.
Yeah, it does look good. Okay. All right, give it a try.
It's good. I'm trying to place...
Does it taste different than like the meat?
Not really.
No?
It's kind of like sausage. It's more like a mix between like sausage and chicken.
Okay.
It doesn't really taste like chicken, but neither does it really taste like sausage. The sauce is doing some heavy lifting too. It's quite good.
We headed back home afterwards and had an early night in. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. And tomorrow will be day 3, where we head to Bondi Beach. Since it was late in the afternoon and my son had pizza for dinner, we headed home early to try to get to bed early, since neither one of us got a very good night's sleep. Stay tuned for day 3. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to our channel.